Yes.
I guess it's the degree.
It's a degree.
Do you want to explain that?
Well, it's
Again, by midnight, because the mayor has...
Carl, can I just add to this, okay? Professor Joy, Doug Joy of the Arkell Center and University of Guelph is a graduate professor for the engineering school there. One of his... I just wanted to comment on Professor Joy of the Arkell Center. He's involved in the graduate studies there at the engineering school. What he teaches is groundwater modeling, and one of his research areas is that. We're hoping that if the council and the municipality gets on board with Arkell coming here and doing some research, he would bring some serious expertise into the groundwater issue, and I think would draw some light into this that we would feel very comfortable with.
Okay, I'm going to try and move these along. Some of these are difficult to read. I do apologize, but I have an idea as I'm talking what we can do with it. Here's one. Is this a done deal? No. Why are Blue Water and South Huron backing out? They're not. They just changed the game plan, but they're back there. Why has Lambton Shores never conducted research to include an STF that is able to process septage? Since a considerable number of users in Lambton Shores are on septics, why wouldn't we try to make money by processing septage, much like Elsa Craig? That's a good question.
My understanding is, you can answer this as well, but my understanding is that there could be a component added to the proposed sewage treatment facility to handle septage. And that, yes, it is a very significant issue because I know of another jurisdiction that had added to that component to their their sewage treatment facility, and they made over $1 million last year just in handling septage. And I was told they had to turn people away because there was such a demand. So there's money to be made with septage, and yes, it's an issue for the rural area as well as all of those in Southcott Pines and Huron Woods.
The tri-municipal committee that has been meeting for the last couple of years looked at that about 2 years or maybe 3 years ago now, and made the decision that septage wouldn't be included in the plant. The intention was to get people off of septic systems and have it treated at the plant that way. It can be relooked at. Elsie Craig at that time were just starting up with accepting septic. Yes, they're making money at it. They have all the way along. At the time, they had capacity to accept a lot of septic, so that was not the option at that time. Was, and the decision by the 3 municipalities involved said, no, we're not going to build for septics at that time.
Yeah, can I address that too after you, Carl? Yeah. Thank you. Just a quick comment to that.
You might as well come over here.
No. Okay, I will. The provincial policy statement, which has been referred to a number of times in this project, it states about septage capacity within a system, okay, within a treatment system for development that has on-site. So if a new development went in where you have on-site systems, the provincial policy statement is asking the municipality to have capacity within the lagoon system to provide treatment of that.
You know what, I have an idea. I'm going to read this 2-parter question that I'm going to ask you if you like my idea about going on, because I'm not sure the Legion, I think it was a 2-hour window we had, which we're running up on. So I'm going to read this 2-parter and then ask you if you like my idea, and if you do, we can roll on. If you can't, don't throw things. Why do we need a plan since we're not using 50% of our existing lagoons, and shouldn't existing users and new development pay for any improvements? Well, don't all jump on it. I mean, I'm just moderating. I could answer it, but I'm not that brave.
The problem is that the municipality has committed to development, in particular to South Bend and to Rice developments, and they've allocated them capacity. And if you consider the current amount that is going into our lagoon and the committed amount, we are left with precious little to work with. So if any new developer comes in and asks for capacity, there isn't enough room probably to accommodate them.
We good? Here's my idea. We'll never get through these. What we can do is, we're going to have this presentation online, on the website. What I'm suggesting is you view it, and you can send emails to either our chair, or I think your email is on the website as the ad hoc committee, or we'll send it to the Lambton Shores website. All of us on council, you can send it to us individually. If you don't trust me, you can send it to Elizabeth. It's not a problem. We will answer these questions verbatim as you have asked them, and I think that would save a lot of time. Does that kind of make sense? This is what you're paying us for, is to answer these questions, but there are just so many of them here that I think, is that okay? We're good with that? Okay. If I could, just to wrap up before we go, when we started this process, this idea of bringing citizens together and council members together, this has not been done, to our knowledge, in this province before. We looked for reference points and couldn't find them. And the whole idea of this was to be a truth and reconciliation exercise. This is an absolutely wonderful community to live in. My wife and I did not move here to fight wars, I can tell you that. We love where we live, we love our neighbors, we love our friends. We need to heal. We need to bring closure to this matter and get on with our lives, because if it's just about fighting about different sides, my personal feeling is there is one side, and that's the side of the people. So where we go from here is that to let you know you have been heard, you are being heard, you will continue to be heard by this council. This council will have substantive discussion after the report is submitted, and we will have recommendations on which we will need to make a decision as to where we go. But what I really hope doesn't happen is that we jockey for position on sides. Because truthfully, for a community as good as this one, that is not helpful. I just want to say, at the end of the day, I have thoroughly enjoyed working with the members of this committee. I guess we still have some work to do. But I would particularly like to commend Carl Belke. Here's a man. You stand up, Carl. Stand up and when we started this exercise, I said to Carl, because Carl likes a dark lager, I said to Carl, if I can, I'll get you a German Pilsner right from the old country if you take this on, because this was an impossible task. You think about it. This has arguably been the most divisive matter that this community is facing and probably ever will face. We're talking multi-million-dollar infrastructures here. And Carl, God bless him, took this on. The hours, the years of work, this is another one, that have gone into this without any reward, to me, epitomizes not only voluntarism, but the need for volunteer citizen committees to help this council team its way to the next term. So, please, what I'm trying to say to you is, please, there's all kinds of rumors going on out there. There's all kinds of soldiers that are fighting wars that are really should be over. The election ended last year. Let's get on with this together. Let's have good, open, honest dialogue. Let's be respectful of each other. At the end of the day, I thank you all for coming, and I thank this committee for the work it's done. Merry Christmas.
The sewage capacity requirements for all residences in Zone 3 and Zone 4 are as follows. The capacity required to service each of the 1,888 lots in Zones 3 and Zone 4 is 1,321.6 cubic meters. Next question is there sufficient capacity available for Zone 3 and Zone 4 in the proposed sewage treatment facility? The available capacity for Zone 3 and Zone 4 in the proposed sewage treatment facility, as anticipated in the tri-municipal agreement, is shown in this chart. You will see that the chart takes two approaches.